The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Bachelor After Show.
People are crazy.
People are crazy.
With that sound, it can only mean one thing, and no, it's not. Life is about straddling people. No, well, it kind of is. We'll get into
Depends
that
on
in
who
a
you
minute.
ask, yeah. Depends on who you ask.
With over 20 million weekly downloads, listened to in 75 different countries, we're your one-stop, one destination for true after-show entertainment. This is the after show for Bachelor, Season 18, Episode 2.
Episode 2-ish.
I get confused.
Episode 2-ish.
Yeah, with the whole January thing.
It's
like 4, but it's
Yeah.
2. Okay, so it's 2.
But if you
It's
need
2.
some clarity, this is the place to get it.
Absolutely. Really?
Because we just totally cleared all that up. Yeah.
They did not say clarity tonight, so I don't know why you guys
That's
are...
Sean's word.
Yeah.
That's Sean's word.
Okay, we got plenty of time to get into
clarity.
it, so let's get into talk about everything. I'm JC, and of course, to my right,
Cathy, Kelley, hey.
and across the table,
Guys, Danny Hoyt, I'm so excited to be back with you guys this week.
we have never done a show together.
I know!
Yes,
This is history.
it is history, but
I think it's history that there are this many men talking about The Bachelor.
yes,
That's true.
and if there's anyone that knows about The Bachelor, of course, is Mr. Graham Bunn. Thank you for coming in tonight. Round of applause for Graham.
Thank you for having me.
man.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having me. I appreciate to be back.
And here's the weird thing. You're right, Cathy, because you're the only woman in the studio, because even running the 1s and 2s, it's Stephen Lemieux.
I know.
Hey, guys.
I think
Hi, Steven.
this is half of the male population in America that watch the show.
I know for a
No,
fact.
I know.
it's
I'm
not.
kidding. I know. But they kill it with a female 18 to 35 demo.
That's true.
Yeah. So
So does Danny. So does Danny.
Moving right along.
no, not at all.
Snap.
This is awesome. I am excited, guys. And of course, we got to talk about Juan Pablo and how
Juan.
he smells like perfume in a bottle.
Pablo.
Right? He's walking perfume. That's what I forget who said that. It was.
Everyone
I think.
says he smells good.
Okay.
That's a good thing to
Yeah,
have said about
that's a
you.
nice quality.
Yeah.
it's a good.
I
good way
appreciate
to
that
start.
quality in a man. Graham, you smell good, man.
Thank you very much.
I did notice
Yeah.
that. What are you wearing? Are you
I
wearing?
shower a lot. A lot.
A lot of showers.
All right, guys. So I know we want to start out with the whole everything that went down with Victoria and Cassandra and who we already like and who we don't like. But let's talk about general thoughts. What do you guys think about tonight's episode?
I just love when there's action, like when there's stuff that makes you laugh, and then you instantly like want to like share with somebody. So, and it's hard because I watched with you guys tonight. And we can't talk about it yet because
Yeah.
so I'm good. There's juice.
Yeah.
There's juicy things.
Yeah, I definitely felt there was a lot of content tonight, which, it's always good. It's always things that you can talk about. And before tonight, I didn't know much about Juan Pablo outside of, we're only 2 episodes in. And I don't remember much about his experience on Desert Season, but I felt like he handled himself really well in several different areas tonight. So definitely looking forward to getting to that.
Yes.
I was really impressed with Juan Pablo tonight, some of the choices that he made and how he conducted himself. I thought that episode 1 was lacking a drunken
Yeah, it was.
breakdown, so I'm happy that we got one, just because it does provide the drama. But I think that usually this early in the season, I'm not that invested in the girls just because we haven't gotten to know them yet. And there are a couple girls that I'm like really rooting for already.
You're already invested into bikini pictures of Juan Pablo as I'm looking at your computer right now.
Oh, well, I have to
Juan
send in
Pablo's in a
pictures for our
bikini?
Yeah,
website.
he's in shorts. He's in his shorts.
Yeah.
Those are two different things.
Sorry. Okay, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. There've been a lot of changes, and I've noticed even right off the start. Usually you have that set up for the first date. And they covered that last night. So I thought that was interesting. They made a few tweaks, and I think they've trimmed some fat and given, like Graham said, a lot more content. So a lot to dive into.
Speaking of making changes and trimming the fat, let's talk about Slim Fast for a second, because with Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast brought to you by Slim Fast.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to try. What's your favorite flavor?
I like the chocolate. I am a huge chocolate fan of anything chocolate ever.
Ever. Awesome. With that said, let's get into some Bachelor action. Wow.
You can't put me on the spot like that.
What, chocolate? Come on.
I
Who
love
doesn't
chocolate.
like chocolate?
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. We're here to talk about Juan Pablo, and the girls are already talking about Claire getting that first date. Now, usually is the person who gets that first date, do they tend to go far? Like seasons past, we've had someone like Casey B, and let's see, last season, correct me, I had it in my mind, but usually they tend to go pretty far. The first date of the season.
I think so. I feel like more often than not, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think do we think Claire could go far?
Yes.
I like Claire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that she's a very sincere person. Just every reaction that she had to tonight's date seemed very genuine. And she seems very humble as well. Like she seems grateful for the things that she has. And that's what I like about her.
Yeah, and at first I saw an edit of her a few weeks ago, or like a week ago, and I thought she was going to be like a villain. A
You
villainous
thought?
time. I swore I saw something where she was in like a shouting match. Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw for like a blip, and I was like, oh my gosh, is she going to be? Like,
I don't remember that.
I forgot. I don't know where I saw it, and I was like, and then I saw her tonight, and I was like, oh, my mind's.
She seems like a good human being.
Yes.
Like she's just a good person.
She reminds me a lot of Tenley. Just like how happy and smiley she is.
Yeah.
Those are big shoes right there. Those are big shoes.
I
to
know,
fill. Yeah.
but she just seems like that sincere of a person, and just sees the positive in everything. So
Yeah, now, what I was going to say is, before that date, I don't know if you guys caught this, it was Chelsea that had this great quote, "He's adorable even with another girl." And I was like, the girls are so feeling him so much, but now, Graham, what do you think about Claire?
I mean, my initial reaction, and
Is it too early?
Yeah, it's early, but I felt like she did a good job of sounding grounded on the date. And you get the first date, it's hard not to let your mind get away from you, because that's. I was fortunate enough to have the first date, but we went about 3 miles from the house, so we didn't go very far. But when you put yourself in that situation and you really don't have anyone else to talk to because no one else has had that experience, it's kind of difficult. And I felt like she was pretty good about realistic expectations, and she chose her words carefully, and I felt like she came off very sincere. And I'm a fan. I think she's great, and I hope she does well, and I hope that it works out for those two as best it can. But sometimes that's a difficult situation. I felt like she handled it great.
it was a really awkward date, though. Certain parts, like them dancing in their swimsuits in snow.
I'm sure neither of them minded that at all. They did not care about that
let's
at all.
fall in love by starting off dancing in our underwear in the snow.
They're in California. They're in the valley. So it's going to be like 80 degrees. So I'm sure
Yeah.
they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't just, she is head over heels with them already.
Mm-hmm.
She is gone.
Well, I feel like all of them are. You know, I mean, when you're put in that bubble, it's difficult to choose your words carefully to reflect anything other than that, because he's the only guy there, and that's your sole purpose, is to really get to know the person. So, I mean, it's difficult to come off not like that, I would imagine.
Well, and I feel like you have to tell yourself that.
Oh, sure,
Otherwise,
of
like,
course.
I mean, how do you get that invested in the game? You kind of have to tell yourself, like, this
Guys
is
are
it.
able to take a step back. Girls are a little bit more
Give us
hormonal
some
when it
insight.
comes to
Give
that.
us some insight right here.
Well, I feel like, especially the producers, I'm sure they pick girls specifically who love the idea of love.
No,
So-
no way. It's totally random. It's like lottery based.
Graham, you're such a conspiracy theorist.
No.
But I mean, you're obviously going to want something more when it's also wanted by others. So
Sure.
That's true.
that elevates it a lot.
Well, and Danny, you brought up the fact that guys can step back a little. Was it you that brought it up right now?
She said it, but I agree. I nodded in agreement, yes.
Okay. But now, Graham, you were in the situation. So even though we said that guys can take a step back, did it still pull you in the whole moment, the bubble and everything of the whole experience?
Yeah, you must not have watched my season because the knock on me was I was never into it, So that's one thing that I can honestly say I didn't get pulled in like that. I took my time and it was very frustrating for Dee, and she was not very happy with me for most of the season. Because I was the only guy there that was like, well, let's hold on a minute, wait a minute.
Were you nominated by a friend or family member?
No,
or-
I
okay.
was actually just approached by a
Okay.
casting agent in a bar in New York on Valentine's Day.
I believe. Oh, that's a
that's a
good
cool
place to find
story,
single
yeah.
dudes. Yeah.
I was working, but
I mean, that's the other thing that I feel like separates the guys and the girls is usually the girls are the ones who are applying, whereas the guys are either approached by casting directors or their sister or their aunt or their mother
Sure.
are the ones who
that's a great point.
send in their information. So I feel like the girls are a little bit more invested in that regard because they've watched every season of the show and they're like, oh yeah, it can happen for those couple of people. So yeah.
It's hard to find a cluster of sometimes catty guys, I would think. So guys tend to be, it's like a bromance, and guys are just like,
Oh, they find them. No, they find. Oh, yeah, they find them.
So overall, it was a good first date. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they hit it off.
What would you rate the date? On a scale of 5, 1 to 5. What
5 the best.
yeah, sure.
I would say it's a 4.5.
That's what I put. Nice.
I would say it's at least a 4. But here's something that I want to talk about is when she brought up about her dad, about the whole issue. Okay, we kind of touched on this, but I wanted to ask you guys. So it was like she talked about it, and she said that my dad was, and she said past tense, my dad was the greatest man ever. And then she talked about the necklace. Well, my dad passed away, and he said, "Oh, really?" Like it was like you missed it.
I think it was a bad edit. I think that they
Okay.
had this conversation and maybe that sentence came prior to all of the my dad was, or part of it was a voiceover in her one-on-one with the producer. So I think it was just
I
an
hope so.
awkward edit because I know a lot of people caught that and were tweeting me about it. So.
Okay.
And he was really emotional when he was talking about their date. I don't know if you guys caught that. His eyes got a little watery, and I think it's because also he has Camilla. And, and it was an interesting layer to see of Juan Pablo is that, she was treated like a princess, so she expects that in turn, and he treats his daughter like a
Yeah.
princess. So I saw a beautiful layer of, because he's this happy guy, he's this party, and to see that side of him, and we're going to see a lot more episode 2, but it was nice to see that, that moment.
Yeah, I agree.
He's like an onion. He has so many layers.
Thank
This
you.
was pretty early for the hot tub too, right?
This was the
episode
hot
2.
tub.
I mean, it's pretty early for that.
They
Is that-
have to do that. I mean, it's The Bachelor. You got to have a hot tub.
I know,
Two
but
hot tubs tonight.
But it's
3?
episode
3.
2. That's got to be pretty. I mean, is that normal?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
I think all the rules are out this season because the
Okay.
stuff used to predict. Because the last season, you didn't know who Desiree was going to pick. I think you throw everything out the window now.
Okay.
You can start almost brand new. There's certain rules that are out the window, like the first date card, and the fact that Kat got the second date card. That tripped me out a little bit. Who saw that coming?
I like that, but can we go back to Claire for just one second?
Absolutely.
Okay. So she got the first kiss, and I just wanted to mention the quote, "You taste like snow."
Oh yeah, that was genius. It was
Yeah,
brilliant.
I jumped forward. I was already talking about the second date. Sorry about that. But yeah, that was funny. That was very funny. I think we all laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that said, I just had a hard time feeling the electricity between Kat and Juan Pablo. I didn't see it. I didn't catch her on the first episode.
Really?
Beautiful.
I
yes.
think that Kat reminds me a lot of Nikki, and I'm going to get them confused. Maybe not so much anymore, but the first episode, they reminded me a lot of each other. Kat, I think, was the most confident girl walking out of the limo in the first episode, and I saw a lot of, it just seemed comfortable with them when they did get one-on-one time in episode 1.
Call me jaded. It's because she's a medical sales rep, and I thought she was just on. Because a saleswoman knows how to sell herself.
Interesting.
Or she's just a pretty confident girl.
Or both, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
Both of them.
They're gonna have to separate us. No, I didn't see it, so I was pleasantly surprised. And how awesome was that day? I want to go on that LED run in Salt Lake.
Electric run.
Yes.
Yeah. That looked like so much fun. And then the concert afterwards, neon lights.
It seemed like a short date to me. It was a lot of fun, a lot of loud music.
I think it was a shorter date. Like they didn't have a second part to it because you have to fly to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Why, we have trouble in their airspace or something? Is it
It just
tough to
takes
fly?
longer to get there than it does, to...
No, because they go to Vegas and they have these great dates in Vegas and there's multiple parts to them.
But those are usually later in the season where...
Like the shopping sprees?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying, I just thought, maybe just logistically it might have been a hard date to pull off.
Because it had to be at night.
With all those people and stuff, and I just didn't see much. Do you think maybe someone said that you thought they kissed, we just didn't see it?
I believe that there was more to the date. Like they had the entire flight home, so what?
Yeah.
That's an hour plus an hour getting to the plane, whatever else. I'm sure they kissed at some point.
Plus, maybe
We
there
just
was some
didn't see it on
turbulence
camera.
on the plane. Like, hello.
A lot of
to be
stuff
her
happens in
seatbelt
transport.
again.
I can say that a lot of stuff happens in transport for sure.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Graham, you think they kissed?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Did you see how many cheek kisses there were in public? So the fact, like, when during their date, they kissed at least, I want to say, 10 times on camera, just like cheek, but like almost
Oh,
lips.
cheek. I thought you said
Yeah.
cheat. And I was like, what do you mean cheek kisses?
Cheek kisses.
Yeah, there were
Cheek, yeah,
tons.
on the cheek.
Yeah.
So
Every time you
I mean,
talked to her, it was
that's
like
in
a-
front of like 1,000 people. So
Yeah.
of course, when they're in a limo and there's only one camera, they're gonna kiss. Or when they're on the plane, yeah.
For the first time this season, I'm going to pull the Latin card.
Pull it.
He's Latin. They're very kissy. He kissed his dad on the lips. You're very, it's just very warm and pleasant.
But he hasn't done that with every girl. If you notice, there are a couple girls where he gives fist bumps to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Steven's right. That is so true.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so there's more to be seen. So you're saying we got a preview of Kat. You think she's going to be around much later?
Yeah,
We'll see
he's
more.
definitely attracted to her.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree. To disagree. All right, so let's...
Wait, P.S. Did you guys see the size of Juan's glow stick? I saw somebody tweet that and I laughed out loud. So that was funny. Ladies.
Awesome. Let us know if you guys, well, that gives a perfect segue. If you guys are watching us on AfterBuzzTV.com, let us know if you saw the length of Juan Pablo's glow stick.
Estimate it. Was it 13 inches?
Okay.
All right.
let us know what you think. Send us your comments on YouTube, Stitcher, OneCast, iTunes. Let us know what you think. And actually, let us know what you think about Danny's look. I kind of like it. I'm really feeling it. You got
too
the
much?
I think that we should have a poll on Twitter whether you think that he should have worn his shirt buttoned or unbuttoned.
Yeah, unbuttoned or buttoned.
for next week. So you have to show up with whatever the fans say.
All right, whatever you guys decide, whatever wins, whatever gets more tweets, comments, votes, I will do next week. I have to keep clothes on though. I can't take my shirt off.
Well,
I'm no Juan. By the way, 12 minutes in tonight, he had his shirt off. I'm on the shirt off count.
He's on the shirt off.
I'm on the shirt off count. 12 minutes into tonight's
Isn't that
episode.
kind of weird that you have the shirt off count and I have the kiss count? And Cathy, what do you
Yeah,
have?
what count are you on, Kathy?
Yeah.
I'm just mesmerized by the
Fist
glow
bumps?
sticks. I'm like, whoa.
By the size of the glow stick, excuse me? What was that?
He looks like he knows how to use a glow stick.
All right.
Okay, 17 minutes into the show, I've lost all control. Let's move on to the group dates. Good Lord, ay Dios mío. All right, so, okay, let me see if I got all the names. We've got Chelsea, Christy, Kelley, Cassandra, Andy, Renee, Lauren S., Allie, Chantel, Nikki, Elise, Victoria, Lucy. All going on a date with Juan Pablo.
And another cameo by the dog. Shout out to that dog who got a ton of camera time.
Yeah.
That dog got more camera time than Amy L.
You should be.
Oh man.
We'll get to that.
That's brutal.
You should be on the dog camera time count. That's what you should be on.
Bitch cam?
Wow, that's a clever name for it. Yeah.
They called it that several times. I'm not being rude.
I know. You should be on that
You're
count.
Cupcake Kelly. You could never be rude.
Hold on, can I say something though about the jacuzzi date with the snow?
Yeah.
If you're ever in a jacuzzi in snow, I feel like it's golden rule. Like you have to get out, make snow angels, and get back in the jacuzzi.
Danny
And they
Hoyt.
didn't. I was a little disappointed by that.
They may have. They just may have cut it.
For those of you that have not grown up in jacuzzis where there's snow, I grew up in the Midwest, so jacuzzis and snow is like a thing that happened. You always do it. It's like what you do. Have you guys ever done this?
I've never done that, but that sounds awesome.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Snow angels. Get out, roll around in the snow, and get back in the jacuzzi. It's very
We have a long season, Danny, so I don't know what we have in production.
fingers crossed.
Maybe.
All right.
Okay. So moving on to this spectacular
Yes.
date of 13 women and 1 man.
The models and mutts date.
Models and mutts.
It was cool. You know, I didn't know. Did anyone expect them to be modeling with mutts?
They do a photo shoot every season. I think they're just trying to keep it fresh. It was great that they did something that helped out charity and
Yeah.
was for the dogs.
Any standouts on the date? Any?
Lucy's boobs.
That was a very large black bar, so it tells me a lot. Okay, so what else? What else about Lucy? Because it's the Lucy show.
She's hilarious,
Yeah, I
by
like
the way.
Lucy.
I just
She's
love
awesome.
how confident she is with. She like knows that she's being goofy, and she still does it. And she's self-deprecating and can make fun of herself, which I admire.
Yeah, she's great TV. She's great TV. Like
And the girls seem to like her. No one has a problem with her. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a difficult thing to pull off. You know?
that.
Well, I don't know. Maybe, you know, like you said, she's so self-deprecating that maybe the girls, that's just
Yeah.
Lucy. You know, because if it was like, let's say, Courtney Robinson that would do the same thing, bitch, hate her. But Lucy is just.
She owns it, and I think that's why it's not conniving, it's not sneaky. She's just doing it, and she's very open about it. It does, however, I think there are girls who in turn compare themselves to her, and they're like, well, since Juan Pablo is keeping her around, why is he keeping me around if we're
Yeah.
two completely different people?
And that's why I think it will turn into drama.
And I think it already
it's
has.
Gonna, but I mean,
yeah.
I think it's gonna blow up.
I think that
it's
was
gonna be
part
a
of.
non-issue. Because I think all of them are like, all right, he's looking for a mom.
Yeah, he's
You know,
Not
so
a
I think the
nude- not a
girls,
nudist.
the girls are like, all right, she's not a threat.
Yeah.
She's gonna hang out and be around, and she's sweet and nice, and she makes for, interesting conversation. But he's looking for somebody, just to mother his child.
Yeah.
It would be difficult to look her in the eye and be like, yes, my daughter's got to meet you. Like, really. So I don't think it's a problem. I don't think the girls care. I don't think she's not a threat. So.
Yeah.
Even though they're in the bubble where just about anything sets them off, especially I think some of the younger contestants have a harder time. Like Cassandra needed a lot of reassurance, just because of maybe lack of experience, even though we'll find out later she has a child. So, but just any little thing in that bubble gets magnified. So
Girls also don't
Yeah.
always think like that, so.
oh yeah, we got one here.
Yeah, but I feel like he set the stage, several times tonight. He's like, he made it known that behavior is just really not something I can bring my daughter around.
Yep.
So I feel like the other girls that's going to be beaten into their head. Like, okay, well, we don't really need to worry about the nudist. So, and I like her. She's cool. I just don't think that's going to work out for her and Juan Pablo. So.
Okay. So we agree that's just her. It's not a shtick. Or...
Oh no, yeah, I think that's her for sure.
I mean, it might be a little sticky, but I feel like it's 95% her. Yeah.
Lack of shoes. She finally got shoes this week.
Yeah.
So. Well, let's get into the real nitty-gritty part of that date. The fact that Elise and Andy had very little to wear. Yet I found it striking that actually Elise was the shrewd one who actually got to trade with Lucy outfits so that she wore the fire hydrant. I thought that was kind of smart. And Andy being
Seemed like the producers set that one up.
Think so?
For them to trade. The conversation just seemed a little bit rehearsed. And I feel like it's the same thing where they intentionally gave those outfits to the girls who were least likely to do it without giving it to the mothers, so they weren't gonna do that. But the two girls least likely to do it, the school teacher and the
ADA,
district attorney, assistant district attorney. It's the same reason why the producers give the bungee jumping date to the girl that is afraid of heights.
Yeah. That's true.
That's why you're really careful filling out that thing. Once you're in there, they're like, listen, here's 180 questions. What are you scared of?
I
Nothing.
love heights, hate one-on-one dates. Those terrify me.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
good strategy. Interesting. Okay.
Kathy.
Yeah, no, but now the thing with Andy, though, isn't she also the one who you could see the greatest arc? Because she was the control freak. And, she's the one that she's used to being in control of everything. And now we're already seeing this. And then Juan Pablo consoling her, comforting her. And could we see a big change? She's used to just being the alpha.
She had a line last week. She said, I'm looking for, and I'm excited to finally take a back seat and let a man take charge.
We talked about this, where she likes to be that, she's powerful and she's an independent woman, but when she's at home, she seems like she wants to have a man take
be a
the lead,
supporter.
wear the pants, be the pants.
She wants to put the pants
Wear
on
the pants
the
in the
man.
relationship, yeah. Or take them off and just put a sign over.
Look, Andy, I just really like her. That's all I'm gonna say.
She is gorgeous.
She's a smoke show. Said that last week. Hashtag smoke show. I do want to say something though. We passed over this, but the guy that gave the signs to the girls, first of all, his blue beard, it matched Juan's shirt. It was perfect. But his laugh when he handed it to
Yes.
was that not like the creepiest?
Maniacal laugh.
It reminded me of Zoolander. Was it Mubatu or something? Yeah,
Mugatu.
Mugatu, yes. The blue beard, but yeah.
What's that line? Is like, by the beard of Zeus.
Zeus. Anchorman quote there.
There we go. So, any other standouts with the day? Oh, we gotta forget dog lover. Was it
Cassandra.
Kelley? No, Kelley.
Kelly
Yeah, oh, yeah,
wearing
wow.
the bald wig.
I didn't even
God bless
recognize
her.
her. It took
God
me a
bless
second to
her.
figure out who that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Cassandra though, the girl that he Lady and the Tramped with.
Yes.
She looked amazing in that dress, though. She said it. He sat at the table with her, and
Is that like
my
a Herve
gosh.
Leviget or something? I'm not very good at fashion.
I don't know how to pronounce it either. I wear clothes from Target.
We need Crystal here, who might be back in the next few weeks, so we'll miss you. Come back soon. She can tell us exactly who wore that dress. It's Herve Leverget or something. It's the bandage
Herb
dress.
Ledger.
Not Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. No, but
Leger.
yeah, let us know, guys at home. We like to know all this
Somebody
kind of
help us out.
Someone
Graham?
help us.
No, I have no idea. I'm not even gonna attempt
Come
to
on.
mutilate that. I'm actually proud to say I have no idea what that is. Yeah.
Amen, bro.
All right, so we talked about the great cause, but the real drama. This is the meat of the episode. What happened at the Watermark Tower with Victoria just giving us quote after quote after quote.
I couldn't type fast enough. It was amazing.
I love the timeline. The timeline they did with her, just one after the other. You could see the progression. You're like, oh wow, I really know what's going on here.
Yeah. How did she have time to get that drunk?
Oh, they
I
bring
just
it into
got
the
it.
interview. Yeah, they bring it into the
But-
interview room.
I mean, they said we sat down, we all got a glass of wine, but it went from like 0 to drunk in 20 minutes.
I like how she goes, I just got here. I'm hammered. I'm like this sober. Oh my gosh.
We've talked about it in seasons past where these dates are going till 2, 3 in the morning, so there was time.
Sure.
And Nikki once again pulled her aside. Girl, you should be slowing down. You know. So once again showing her, she was just nurturing and whatnot. And I think those little keys are going to play out later in the season.
I agree.
There's a lot of stuff that.
Nikki seemed a little condescending when she said that, but I'm glad that she did because it's better than just letting this girl, completely self-destruct.
She pretty much did, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lost.
Band-aid for a bullet wound.
Yeah.
You should probably slow down. You're already hammered, but maybe have no.
Hey, girl, hey.
And lost and all that. Did we also forget about Cassandra? I don't know if you were going to bring that up, Danny, about Cassandra bringing up the surprise that she was kind of scared that she was going to bring up having a 2-year-old son.
She's so sweet how nervous she is. And I think that is because she's younger, the youngest girl, I think, this season. But the fact that she does have a son and...
But how could that be a surprise? He has a 4-year-old daughter. I mean, I would think he would welcome that.
Oh, no, I think that it was just that she
her
hadn't
perspective.
had ample time to talk to him.
Yeah.
And it's not something that maybe she did want to say it on the first night and someone just stole him away or I don't know.
But it's a big thing to drop. And his I loved his reaction because when she told him, he kind of went like this, like he put his hands over his mouth, and she did too. And they had this really cool moment, like
Yeah.
like it made her feel comfortable right away because he was so like embracing of what she told him. So
Does this help her? Because we talk about, gosh, she's so young, but this helps you grow up real fast.
Yeah.
Having a 2-year-old
Sure.
son.
Oh, yeah.
so-
Yeah, she's young by age. I would imagine that she's older than some of the girls there with life experience.
Yeah,
That's
maturity.
a whole new ball game when you add a child into the mix.
yeah.
And I don't know anything that stood out. I'm thinking maybe Renee trying to go in for kisses.
Renee trying to go in for the kiss. She did that while they were on doing the photo shoot. She said they almost kissed, and then later she kept on trying to go in for the kiss. I loved how she described it in her interview where she's like, well, I guess I left him wanting more.
Yeah.
I like her. Yeah, she seems genuine as
You know,
well.
a lot of people like her. Actually, I got a tweet from a fan who watches the East Coast, Scott McDougal. And
Love Scott.
He's like our super fan from the East Coast. And he was saying, watch out for Renee just because of her compassion and things she showed this episode. And at first I was like, really, Renee? I didn't really pick her up last week, but she did show me a lot this week. Even in the doggy thing, I noticed, even though like Cassandra and he was kissing other girls, but they seemed more intimate in their little bit.
They definitely have a connection, and I mean, she seems like she's the most mature, not just because she's a mother as well, but I mean, she seems like she wants to genuinely help the other girls, like we see later in the night with Cassandra. And I don't know, I like the point she said at one point tonight, because I'm a single mother, I know what I want and I just go for it, and I think I respect that.
Yeah,
her.
I do too. That's a good line.
Yeah. She's like, let's just cut to the chase. That's what you do.
I think Graham, did you know that Victoria was out?
Oh
Or
yeah,
from the stall.
Oh yeah. She's got to go. I mean, just to give him any kind of credibility with any of the other girls, or anybody watching the show for that matter, if he's there, to find someone that would obviously be a role model to his daughter. I mean, that kind of behavior. It doesn't make her a bad person. We've all had our moments of bad decisions and stuff, but. And it's such a short period of time to find someone to be a stepmom that you can't really put up with stuff like that. And so, I thought he handled it well. I was a huge fan of the way he went and spoke to her and showed her respect and was like, hey, look, it's a mistake and I understand that. But, for me, moving forward, it's just this is about my daughter. So, and that's the ultimate trump card. I mean, if you can't respect that, then you just need to stop watching.
You called that though. I thought that he was going to give her a second chance.
No,
I thought he was too.
No,
He could be
Please.
used to girls throwing temper tantrums. He has one.
I'm sure. Well, she's got a little bit longer leash though.
Yeah.
That is why Graham has been on the show and we have not.
What was it like? I mean, breaking down that third wall or whatever they call it, fourth wall, and seeing the producers. Like we saw Elon tonight and some of the other people.
Always good to see
as
Elon.
Victoria.
Always good to see Elon.
He got a haircut,
Yeah.
He always had that big bushy thing.
Look good.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to see the behind the scenes. It brings it back to reality, I guess. Like knowing that there's a camera crew there. It's not just like these.
Going with your point, Graham, is that he was pretty quick. Juan Pablo, he was pretty straight to the point. He just can't have this, and it was done.
It was a cool, mature side to see of Juan Pablo. Like I think it added a cool dimension to him that we haven't got. I'm glad we saw it here in the second episode because it really lets you know he's going to handle things appropriately, maturely, in the right way, and it's about more than him, and I appreciate that.
Like he said, I mean, he's putting his daughter first. And he understands that it's a difficult situation to be in, so that's why he forgave her for that. But I just felt like her apology was kind of half-hearted.
Oh, it was.
It seemed
for
like
sure.
it seemed like it was okay. I know I need to apologize, not I feel genuinely awful for what I did. That was so selfish of me to not ruin your night, but take away time from other girls, and I made it all about myself as opposed to,
She didn't own it.
Yeah.
She just blurted it out as soon as he sat down. She blurted out, "Hey, I'm sorry about last night," or however she phrased it,
Yeah.
as opposed to.
She said, "I guess I should apologize."
I guess I should apologize.
Yeah, I was like,
Exactly.
that's brutal.
And then blaming it on, she's like, well, you just have to know when I have emotions, I have them at every end of the spectrum. So if I'm happy, I'm really happy. And if I'm upset, I'm really upset.
What was the thing she said about welcome to Brazil?
Because she's Brazilian, so
'cause
you have a lot of emotions.
And she was banking on that because last week I thought they had a really good connection. And it was because he was attracted to her and they were going to practice language lessons because he wanted to learn Portuguese. And I think she thought, she mentioned it earlier this episode about men always chasing after her and wanting to sleep with her or something.
Yeah, because I think, and I might be wrong. No, it was.
It was in the episode.
She said
Graham
that
knew
she.
at that moment. He's like,
Gotta go.
She, I believe, was married before, and it was a very short marriage because her husband ended up cheating on her. So she has this life experience, but now she says that she can't relate to guys her own age because all they want to do is, pick you up at a bar and sleep with you.
I've got bad news for her. That's not an age thing. It's just not an age thing at all. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. Just if you're listening, not an age thing. We gotta let that go.
Yeah.
And see, and with that said, it was basically another point where they trim the fat, because usually they have that moment where they show someone in production pick up the suitcase and walk it off.
Yeah.
She was just gone.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Vanished.
moved it on because we had so much content. And moving on to the cocktail party, which I'd like to open with. This portion in the cocktail party. Hello, I'm Amy L. So I'm here with Juan Pablo. Tell me, what did it feel like dating me? Kind of weird.
She got more than 15 seconds.
Yeah.
She got a full-on, like, 40-second reel out of
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say that's gonna be productive for her reel.
Yeah.
This is me. Yeah. Awkwardly interviewing someone.
Although I did like her dress. I thought she looked really good in that color.
She looked
Let me
gorgeous.
say that about
All the girls this season are
Well, you're
freaking
wearing
gorgeous.
green.
Yeah.
That's not a shocker.
Hey, listen. At least I have mine on both shoulders. She was like, want shoulder style.
You should wear your shirt like that the remainder of the after show.
Like that.
If you're not watching this live, please do. Yeah, and Graham, you called it right then and there. You're like, that's a fail.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's gone.
Yeah, you said it. You're the fail.
Yeah, fail.
And I was so sad because I thought she. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought she was really pretty, so I was like,
She is very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been her saving grace. But the producers do this every season. The same thing happened with the masseuse girl from last week, where they were like, play it up because this is the one chance you're going to have to make an impression. So you have to make a really, really, really good impression or else he's going to forget you. So it's like, well, he doesn't know that you're a local news reporter yet, so you probably should hammer that home.
And she
I don't know.
hammered
That
it.
was on her like intro tape, so that could totally be her shtick. I mean, she like wasn't that her deal where she submitted a tape and she was like looking at the
Yeah.
camera. So I mean, that might be her go-to. Like, I'm a really good interviewer. I'm gonna interview you now. You're gonna fall in love with me.
A big important question then to wrap up and move on because we got so much more stuff. Does she move up to a bigger market after this?
Yep. She
Yeah.
goes to,
Yes.
to Midwest. What'd you say? Oklahoma City? Tulsa?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
She's gonna move up.
She's moving up.
Okay.
Maybe Ohio. I don't know.
I was in Des Moines.
Des Moines. I don't know.
Watch
I
your
just
back.
throw it
March
right
of
up there.
72.
All right, so now the actual really nitty-gritty stuff. Charlene, who last week threw us off where she went sure when she got the first impression rose.
Yeah.
And she apologized for the awkward moment, which I have a theory. I think she could win it all.
That's your theory. Is that your early dark horse?
Early, but not even a dark horse.
I would say she goes pretty far, but there's definitely something holding her back. I think she redeemed herself tonight, but her sarcasm, I don't know, translates to Juan Pablo.
Correct.
Because even at the rose ceremony, she was like, sure.
She tried to be
and
funny.
she was really funny, but he didn't get it. I think the language barrier or something.
And when they
But-
flashed back to
yeah.
her, she kind of smirked like, crap, that didn't go over well. You can see she knew it.
Sure.
She's hilarious though, and I do really like her.
Okay, the only reason I'm saying this is because I don't know if you guys we saw last night's all the January stuff. Juan Pablo spoke to Catherine and Sean, and Catherine had this thing with Sean where she would massage Sean, and that was Sean's thing. He said that really sold me. And last week, I hate to bring this up, I wasn't here, but I have to bring up this point. When Juan Pablo showed up for the cocktails, and he needed a drink, she ran up and got him that drink right away. And it was this little thing. It's just like a little thing, taking care of your man. And he's a Latin man. So those little details. He really likes her too.
Subconscious, maybe.
Yes, it's those
Yeah.
little things, like we talk about body language, those little things that, since they try to throw us off producers, you have to start looking at body language,
Yeah.
those little gestures.
If they're touching in the couple minutes that they have together, or if they're like sitting on opposite ends of the couch.
Sorry, just had to
It's
say
a good
that.
observation.
No, that is a very good observation.
Just had to say that. So, moving on.
All right.
He's definitely attracted to her.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, gorgeous
Very, very
opera
attracted
singer.
to her.
I mean, she's different.
Aggressive dress too. That was an aggressive dress. Last night.
I think she looked really good.
I
in
think
that.
She did look good.
She separates
It was aggressive,
herself.
though.
And he describes her always as elegant.
Yeah.
He doesn't say
She's
that about
very
anyone
classy,
else. Yeah. So.
but in a
And super
hot
funny.
way.
Super funny.
I appreciate classy women.
Yeah.
It's a whole different category of women. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot that fit into it on this show, this season. And I think she's
Nice. Well played. Well played.
so.
Okay, so let's move on to someone else he called elegant, Cassandra, who needed reassurance once again. And of course, who was there, Renee, to console her. And once again, Sean, whoa, sorry. Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo. How could I mess that one up?
All you see is abs. They all look alike when they take their shirt off.
It's just a blur. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So once again, anything we learn from Cassandra and Renee's interaction and Juan Pablo coming in and just kind of saving the day again, is he just going to be like the ultimate like Sean? Like Sean had to console every girl, and he's going to have to do that every week now?
Look, he's not doing himself any favors by like feeding into this. The theory that girls are going to have now is let me just cry and run off to a room,
Right.
and my hero's going to come knock on the door and come in the room and console me.
I don't know. He didn't take that route with Victoria though. I mean,
But he still showed up.
It's a different
Yeah, well, I
kind
think
of-
he's considerate.
Yeah.
He's
Like if you
considerate, but I
don't,
mean-
you know, someone puts himself out there to meet you and comes all that way, and it's a difficult thing to do. You give them at least the consideration of, okay, well, I'll address it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you at least address it, and then you decide, okay, well, not for you, and all right, we'll move forward.
I mean, last week he let Lauren go after she ended up getting really upset and crying. So
I agree
2
with
out
your
of 3
point, though.
girls who have cried
Yeah.
hasn't worked out for them.
I think it all comes down to who the girl is, and I think he likes Cassandra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I would too. So
I mean, you definitely get one-on-one time with one. So I'm just saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a risky
Girls
play.
have used that in the past. Tiara, she
Yo,
did that
my
on her
God.
season, and
I just want to show my
you
sparkle.
finally see through it. It
Yeah.
takes a while, but you
It's
see
too
through
early.
it.
It's too
Yeah.
early right now. So anything else stands out before the rose ceremony?
Well, the fist pump during that exchange was interesting. I was like, oh, he's for sure gonna kiss her. He's for sure gonna
Nope.
kiss her.
Just a
Fist pump. And she blew it up. I was like, okay, time to cut it.
It seems
Cut.
like friend zone
That was
there.
crazy, yeah.
He
Well,
definitely
he relates to her, I guess.
he wears his heart on, or his emotions, I guess, his attraction on his sleeve, because
that a
there are a
Latin
couple
thing?
girls that like the first night they walk by and he's like,
Yeah, that's right. He checked
Yeah.
him out afterwards. Is that a Latin thing to do that, or is that
I
a
think
Juan
that's
Pablo
a guy
thing?
thing.
No, yeah, for sure,
Well,
guy thing, for
I mean,
sure.
yeah, all guys have, but I feel like he's a step further than a lot of guys as far as how much. he
Well,
wears on
you
his sleeve.
think you're subtle, but then when cameras are on you and you're checking out a girl's butt, not so subtle.
But wait, doesn't that undercut what he told? I forgot who he was. I think it was Cassandra. If I'm not feeling it, and Renee has a child as well, I'm going to let you know.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. He's like,
But
I'll
wouldn't
treat
you
you
tell Renee
differently.
no?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he let Renee know that? Because she has to get back to her child.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, that's a good point. I mean,
Renee or Cassandra?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
because he definitely is attracted to Renee.
No, but I'm
Is
saying
he-
with Renee. I'm sorry. With Renee, shouldn't he, if he's friend zone with Renee, shouldn't he let her?
I thought he was
know?
more
Oh,
friend
I
zone
thought
with Cassandra than with Renee.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he likes Cassandra though.
I think he
does too.
I think he
I
likes
think-
both of them.
And honestly, it's night 2. He can only send like 2 home. So he's like, all right, look, there's
They're both good enough
yeah,
for now.
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into who went home. Any
Da-da-da-da.
surprises? Who we got? Who stayed? We got Kat, Kelley, and Claire, who won roses throughout the episode.
Cat Kelley.
Nice catch.
No,
I
I,
didn't catch
said
it.
that.
She caught it.
I yelled it out during the episode. I was so excited.
Because Catherine Kelly.
Because the littlest things excite me.
And then, of course, he gives the first rose to Cassandra.
Yep.
Makes her feel good
I like
right
that.
off the bat.
Do you think it was actually the first rose, or was that editing?
Yeah, that could have been editing for sure.
We mentioned, I don't know if you caught this last week, Chris Harrison comes out to say, this is the final rose. Amy comes up, and there's another
There's
rose
one more
sitting in the
rose.
basket, and he's got one.
I think y'all were looking way too deep
I don't
into
know,
that
man.
one. I'm telling you. I heard you guys. I watched you guys
Editing.
religiously. It was awesome. And I was like, nah, maybe they just left it there just to leave one there to have us talk about it.
Maybe. I
no,
hope so.
they did not do that.
They just
They
edited
did
it.
not,
They cut
yeah.
it.
I hope she was the first one, legitimately. Like,
I
I
do
mean, I
too.
like the way it was, but I really hope she was too.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I think the girls next episode will tell us, because remember at the very beginning of the episode, they were like, well, obviously he likes her. He gave her the first rose last week.
Oh yeah. You can
So-
see. I think that could be a very big indicator of where his heart's at, in between Cassandra and Renee. So
Yes, very well said.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So so let's move on. We've got Nikki, who I think he really likes actually. Nikki the nurse.
Oh, yeah, he definitely
agree.
likes
like a
her.
pediatric
Yeah.
nurse.
They have some chemistry.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And Andy, who we all like.
Oh
everyone
God, and her
in
dimples.
the
Yes.
world really likes.
She'll be the next bachelorette, probably.
I said that
heard
last
that.
week.
She
Yeah.
did say that. She called that.
And then Elise, Elise who
I like Elise.
took a step back for me this week, even though I think there's much to come from her.
Yeah.
So let's see, Charlene.
Love Charlene.
Let's see, Renee, who
I like Renee. Regardless, I think she's gonna come out of there with a lot of friends if she doesn't come out with a husband.
Okay.
That's well said. I do like Renee. I don't see her making it super far.
I would say I see her making it far, but he's gonna let her go, maybe not prematurely, but say like, you know, I don't.
Are we kind of
I have
doing
more chemistry.
predictions as we do?
Oh, I
this?
guess, yeah.
Kind of sorry.
Kind of sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay, so for the first time ever on AfterBuzz Bachelor After Show history, we're going to combine the rose ceremony with our predictions.
Yes.
Because it's getting late
Okay,
here.
let's do it. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So we've got Danielle. Didn't see much of her this week, so I just don't really see her going too far. I don't. And anyone else disagree, agree?
No, I'm with you. Yeah, we
They-
didn't see much about her.
They always do that one girl. It may be her, it may not be, but there's that one person every single season, guy or girl, that they don't give like any screen time to, and then they're like top two.
Yeah, all of a sudden-
Catherine last season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff Holm. Like,
Yep.
every season they have one. So.
All right, so Lucy, the hippie.
Lucy.
No,
She's gonna win
She
it.
calls herself that.
No, yeah, for sure. Nah, yeah,
The
I like
free
Lucy.
spirit.
Yeah, I like Lucy a lot. She's cool.
Yeah, and Graham did point out that he loved the fact that she's quoted as free spirit.
Free
as
spirit.
her occupation.
Free spirit.
And Allison, I don't even remember Allison right now. Someone help me. There's so many.
Allie
Allison-
Rustica. I only know that because she's from Chicago, and I was like trying to figure out
Oh,
whether.
Allie, she's gorgeous,
Yeah.
real peppy, and beautiful energy.
Yeah.
Beautiful, kind of Kristen Bell-ish.
She's another one we haven't got a ton of camera time.
That's someone who
and
I could
she
see.
could
I could
be
see, yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Yes.
She could. She
She's
really
really
could
pretty.
be.
She had the one in the white dress at the end.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I was trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out because she's looked so familiar the last two episodes, and I'm from Chicago, so maybe I don't know.
Chicago's a small city, so yeah.
And super small.
And just kidding. And then we've got Chelsea.
I like Chelsea.
Actually, that's the one who I meant. Oops, sorry. That's who I meant was Kristen Bell type.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say Allison definitely
Yeah,
they're-
no,
don't
I can
look
see
like
that
at all.
Kristen Bell type. I just something about Chelsea. I like Chelsea.
Yeah, and then we've got Lauren and Christy and Lauren. She was the one with the piano, who we didn't see much of any this week. So maybe there's a lot to come with. I don't feel it with Lauren and Juan Pablo with his fieriness, and she's the composer, very reserved. Just don't see her keeping up with him.
I think she's
didn't see
gonna
her
be a
this
little
week,
bit
Graham.
feisty.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she's that reserved. She's a fun girl, but
Okay.
yeah. But
I gotta give a shout out to Lauren. She started following me on Twitter this
Yeah.
week. I like
You
Lauren.
think so? All right.
she's a
Maybe we can bring her on. and see if
friend of
she
the
can-
AfterBuzz's. So
Don't take away my thunder.
That was totally you, Danny. It was totally you. It was
I
all
always
you.
had a moment.
There's a lot of stuff going on here, folks. So with that
she
said-
followed me first.
Ah, fine.
Ha.
I think she followed me before you two. Boom! Okay, so with that said, what do we see next week? More drama, more tears. Anything stick out? Cassandra in the buggy. They're on the date and they're going in the buggy in the water.
Yeah, that looked cool. I want to
He's
see what
getting-
that's about.
He's getting really cool dates.
Yes, he is. I love how he always says, "So I planned,
I planned,
this."
yeah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah, right, Juan Pablo.
You know, we went all out of order, but Graham, I definitely want to talk about you. What's going on since the last time we saw you way back in like a few months ago?
Oh, the same. I'm hanging out with you guys. That's about all I can report back right now.
We're gonna
I'm
bring
still,
you back.
Yeah, I'm still doing my clothing company, and we're coming out with some new stuff this year. And yeah, it's been great. I live out here full time now, and actually play ball with this guy. And we go to Bible study together, so it's cool. We're friends, and love it out here, man. It's great.
Right, so we got. And what's the site? Of course. you
Oh,
know,
it's
for-
46nyc.com.
So definitely follow you there for the great cause behind what you do
It
with
is.
the clothing. Absolutely. So
And you got something cool coming up later this year.
We do. We have something big
Something
coming
really
out. So
cool.
I'm very excited about, and
Bigger than the lemonade stand.
bigger than the lemonade
Whoa.
stand. Yeah, we've got some people behind
That's
us,
a
and
tease.
yeah, we're very excited. It's been a while since we've put out a product that I thought is a no-brainer, so I'm pretty excited about it.
well, you got to come back and let us know for sure, please.
Once we get it out there, I would love to.
Did
Thank
you
for
say
having me.
once? Once we get it out there. I like
We got it. Yeah.
Very punny.
Well done.
Wow, another punny episode. So with that said, Cathy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley.
And Danny.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, all that at Danny Hoyt.
And Graham, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. You
Where
guys
can
are great.
fans tweet you? Where can they?
Just Graham Bunn, yeah, or 46nyc.
Awesome.
Both handles, I operate. So
And Steven, thank you for keeping up with us tonight. Where can they find you, buddy?
Engineering all these great shows by JC Rubio, Cathy, Kelley, Graham Bunn, and Danny Hoyt.
Very well said. And you can find me at JC Rubio TV on Instagram and Twitter. So for Danny, Graham, Cathy, Steven, I'm JC still. We're the AfterBuzz for Bachelor.
We miss you, Grizzly.
Come back!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Like Tony.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.